Imagine you're on a billion-dollar aircraft carrier surrounded by the best defense systems in the world. You feel safe, right? Well, you shouldn't, because something just showed up on the radar. But by the time you see it, it's already too late. This is the LRASHM, India's brand new carrier killer missile. It's long-range, it's hypersonic, and as of 2026, it has officially changed the rules of war in the Indian Ocean. Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about this beast. Why is the world talking about it? How does it actually work? And why is it making certain navies very, very nervous? Stick around, because the specs on this thing are honestly terrifying. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is the LRASHM? The name stands for Long-Range Anti-Ship Missile. But don't let the simple name fool you. This isn't your average cruise missile like the BrahMos. A normal missile flies like a ball you throw in the air. It goes up and comes down in a predictable curve, easy for a computer to track. But a glide vehicle like the LRASHM, it's different. It gets boosted into the sky by a rocket, then it glides. It skips across the atmosphere like a stone skipping over water. It can turn, it can dive, and it can change its mind halfway through. This missile was the star of the show at India's Republic Day parade. It was the first time the public got to see the actual launcher, a massive 12 by 12 truck that can move this weapon anywhere along the coast. The message from the DRDO was clear. The Indian coast is now a no-go zone for enemy warships. Let's talk numbers, because this is where things get crazy. How fast do you think this missile goes? Mach 2? Mach 3? Try Mach 10. That is 10 times the speed of sound. We are talking about 12,000 kilometers per hour. At that speed, the missile is moving so fast that friction with the air heats the surface to over 2,000 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt most metals, but India's scientists use special composite materials to keep it from burning up. Now, why does speed matter so much? In modern naval warfare, ships have reaction time. When they see a missile coming, they have a few minutes to fire their own defense guns. But against a Mach 10 missile, that minutes of reaction time shrinks to seconds. And the range? It's built to hit targets 1,500 kilometers away. To put that in perspective, a launcher sitting in Chennai could potentially hit a target deep in the middle of the Indian Ocean before the crew on that ship even finishes their lunch. And here's the kicker. Rumors say the DRDO is already working on a version that can go even further, up to 3,500 kilometers. You might be thinking, hey, don't ships have lasers and missiles to shoot things down? Yes, they do. But the LRASHM has a cheat code. Remember when I said it skips on the atmosphere? This is called a quasi-ballistic trajectory. Most defense systems are designed to stop missiles that fly very high or very low. But this missile flies in the middle zone, too low for space tracking radars and too high for short-range ship guns. And because it can maneuver, meaning it doesn't fly in a straight line, the defense computers on a ship can't guess where it's going to be. It's like trying to catch a fly with a pair of chopsticks while the fly is moving at 10 times the speed of sound. It's almost impossible. Plus, it uses a special seeker in its nose. This is like a high-tech eye that can see through weather, smoke, and electronic jamming. Once it locks onto a ship, it stays locked. Now, let's look at the why. Why did India spend years and millions of dollars developing this? It all comes down to the Indian Ocean region. Every year, the ocean is getting more crowded. Different countries are sending their aircraft carriers and destroyers into these waters. An aircraft carrier is basically a floating city. It's a huge symbol of power. If you want to stop a carrier, you usually need your own carrier. But those cost billions and take a decade to build. The LRASHM is what experts call an asymmetric weapon. It means India can spend a fraction of the cost to build a missile that can potentially sink a multi-billion-dollar ship. It's a sea denial weapon. It tells any hostile navy, if you come within 1,500 kilometers of our coast, we can reach you. This puts India in a very elite club. Only a few countries like the US, Russia, and China have this kind of hypersonic technology ready for use. So, what's next for the LRASHM? Right now, the version we saw is launched from a truck on land. That's great for defending the coast, but the DRDO isn't stopping there. They are already planning to put this missile on Indian Navy warships. Imagine a destroyer out at sea, carrying a weapon that can strike a target 1,500 kilometers away. There are even talks about an air-launched version. If they can fit a smaller version of this onto a Su-30 MKI or the upcoming AMCA fighter jet, India would have the ability to strike anywhere, anytime, with zero warning. And don't forget the nuclear question. While this missile is designed to carry conventional explosives to sink ships, the technology is flexible. It's a massive leap forward for India's overall defense tech. The LRASHM isn't just a piece of metal with a rocket attached. It's a statement. It's a sign that India is no longer just buying weapons. It's inventing the future of warfare. It's fast, it's smart, and it's virtually unstoppable. But what do you think? Does this missile make the Indian Ocean safer? Or is the world entering a dangerous new arms race? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read as many as I can. If you enjoyed this deep dive into India's newest tech, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe for more defense updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.